Good morning from Big Sky Country. I'm Stacy, owner of Montana Used Bricks. Today I'm going to get a little bit personal. I have shut down my shop for 2 weeks and I wanted to explain why. I usually don't talk a lot about myself. I usually just stick with talking about the Lego store, but in order to explain why I shut down, I have to tell you a little bit of a backstory. I know this is not going to be a shock to any of you, but I am overweight. In fact, by American standards, I'm what they call morbidly obese. Have I always been like this? Off and on. When I was a teenager, I was overweight. I was obese in my 20s and morbidly obese in my 30s. And then in 2004, I joined Weight Watchers. In over 6 years, I lost 120 pounds, which I was able to keep off pretty much for about 3 or 4 years. Even though I knew what I needed to do to lose weight and to maintain weight, I never learned how to handle the emotional eatings. I had a whole bunch of changes in 2015, had some family things in 2016, and because of that, I started to gain weight back slowly at first and then really fast. Because of that, I have now developed high blood pressure. This was diagnosed last May when I did a health screening for work, and I was on a program and I did really well from about May until October. And then Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Super Bowl, I just kept eating. I wasn't following any plan or doing anything I was supposed to. The middle of March, my blood pressure spiked to the point that it was concerning me a lot because it had never been that high before. And I know a lot of it is due to stress. I have a somewhat stressful job. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do well, not only at work, but with this business. All of this is really important to me, so I want to do my best, and I put a lot of stress on myself. Once I realized my blood pressure was not going down, I had to take a look at things in my life that I could put on hold until I can get a grasp back on eating well, getting my daily walks in, and just finding ways to de-stress. I can't quit my day job as much as I would like to do this full time. Something had to give. My husband and I had a really long conversation about this. I told him I wanted to shut down the store for a month, give myself a good month to really just focus on myself and my health. And he was not so much okay with that. I think he's afraid that if I take a month off, I'll go, I don't want to do this anymore, and we'll be stuck with all this. I pointed out two things. One, if that was the case, then this wasn't meant to be to begin with. But the other thing was that even though I took a month off, I could still work on inventory. We could put a password on the closed store so my regular buyers could still come in and shop if they wanted to, but I wouldn't be overwhelmed with orders. After a lot of conversation and a lot of talking, we decided that I would close the store for 2 weeks. I would work on inventory only if I felt like it. We would leave the bypass password on the closed store so people could still come in and purchase parts if they wanted to, and he would help with those orders. Then we're going to reopen the store for about 7 to 10 days, and we're going to just focus on orders, not necessarily on inventory unless I feel like it. Then we're going to completely close the store for a week because we have some family stuff going on and it would just be easier to close the store for a week. At the end of that time, we're going to take a look at where I am with my blood pressure, how I'm feeling, if I'm ready to really start focusing on the store again. So I'm not giving up on my Lego store. I'm not totally closing it down, but it is closed. And along with that are these videos. So I am doing this video just because I wanted to explain what was going on. I will be doing a video next week as well because I do have a couple of things for the March vlog video, but it may be another probably 3 to 4 weeks before I start picking up the videos again, just to give myself a little bit of a break. I know I've talked about this before because I did a video a while back about being burnt out, and I did have quite a few people say, hey, look, you know, I've taken summers off, I've taken months off, come back, And once you reopen, the people are there. If you have the parts, they'll buy them. I'm still a little bit nervous about this. I'm feeling a little bit guilty too for not working on my store, because when you have all this and you build a space to do this, you feel obligated to work on it. I'm very torn, but I'm trying not to let it get to me because, like I said, I really need to focus on my health at this time. If there's anybody out there who has closed down their store for any length of time, I really need the reassurances of it's going to be okay. When you reopen, they'll still be there. So if you have done that, if you could put in the comments what your experience was doing that and how you felt about closing it down. Was it kind of a relief and you were happy to get back to it, or did maybe you even realize that maybe this isn't for you and you moved on to do some other stuff or change the way you do things? I would be curious about all of that. So if you could leave a comment, I'd really appreciate it. And like I said, there will be one more video next week. Other than that, I will see you next month. Thanks. Bye.